Hey, Cmax here. Welcome to the What to Why to Reloading Series, video number 8. Ugh. Once again, this is a reloading series for the non-reloader or brand new reloader. It's not intended to be complete or instructional, just trying to kind of fill in some of the unknowns. So when you do watch the how-tos, maybe it'll all mesh a little bit better for you. At least that's the intent. Okay, we're on video number 8, and we're going to talk about actually charging the case, the different ways you can do it, and there are numerous ones. We're going to start out with the most simple and show you some other options, and then I'll show you at the very end what I do. Start out with the most simple, the Lee dippers. With the lead dippers, you don't need a scale. You do it all by volume. And what I mean by that is each of these scoops has a larger and larger capacity. And you do it by volume. You've got this slide card here. Let's get up here to where you can see. Say if you were using Reloader 7, boom. Then, if you use the 1.3, that would yield 17.8 grains of Reloader 7. And yada, yada, yada. So basically, this is your guide. So you don't have to have scale. I do know a lot of people, I think TR said he started this way. It is a proven method and it does work. The Lee load data actually refers to the dipper that they give you. This one is a 0.5 cc capacity. Now, basically what you do is you put some powder into a container. Use a small dish. Trays. I want to talk about trays real quick because you need trays so that you don't easily knock everything over when you're trying to do it. Now, my favorite trays brand are the Frankfurt Arsenal. They're low, they're caliber specific, and they hold everything perfectly. I just really like this design better than any of the other trays I've seen. And they're usually fairly well priced. But you don't have to have those. I don't have one for the 38-357. Not yet. That's on the long list of things that I will have one day, but I don't have to have it, so I don't. I'm using this tray. Well, what is this? This is actually an ammo tray that I got out of an ammo box. I actually found this in the garbage at the gun club, where somebody had shot the ammo and thrown the box and the tray in there. So this is a source of use. Look through the trash, see a tray. Hey, that looks kind of cool. Grab it, try it. If you end up not liking it, you can always pitch it when you get home. But this is what I'm going to use. So basically, what you do with the Lee dipper is you don't scoop, because scoop you're using force to fill it up. You back it in. It probably needs to be a little bit deeper than this one. You back it in and let it fill up. Okay. Put your funnel on there and dump it in, and bingo, you've got a charged case. Okay. That's how you use the Lee dippers. Okay, the whole trick is cross-referencing, finding the correct dipper to use with the powder, because the powder density and all that, they've already gone through and figured all that out for you. I had talked about powders. I liked the light powders because I like the red dot and all that. I want to show you real quick here, and hopefully you can see this. You can actually see the little red pieces in there. So this powder is easily identified because it's got little red dots in it. So I know this is red dot. A lot of the powders look alike. For example, Unique looks like red dot with no red dots in it. So just kind of wanted to point that out. All right, the next way that you can charge your case is using an electronic scale. Okay, so these are fairly inexpensive. They're really not my favorite way. You have to be careful. Electromagnetic fields can affect this. TV, cell phones, lights, things that are too close to it can have an effect. So basically, you just put some kind of container that you're going to put the powder in, and you just zero it out with the container on there. So we're at 0.0. Let me try to zoom in just a hair on this. Okay. Move it back here. And then let's see. Let's just say we want to put 4 grains even of red dye. So you get something. It doesn't have to be a dipper. It could be a spoon or anything, and you start put it in there. All right. Right now it's saying we've got 3.2. And you just keep tapping some in. 3.6, 3.8, 4.0. Okay. And that jumps from 4.0 to 4.1. This is why I don't like electronic scales. It's just, I don't know, that just bugs me. I like the other type of scale, and I'll show you that in a minute. But close enough. Okay. We're going to say that's 4.0. This is just for example's sake. And then we're going to dump it in. Put it in the thing. There we go. Got a charged case, and you just continue to do that. That is the second easiest way to do it. Now, some of the other ways to do this stuff, obviously, we talked about this before. And, you know, this is the Lee expander die with the funnel. Let's see, am I even in this? Okay, there we go. The Lee expander die with the funnel. That is the way we were talking about it when we were doing the die setup. And I was explaining on the flaring that you could do it that way. So let's do one that way. Now I'm just going to estimate a little bit in here powder-wise for our charge. But what you would do, on camera, yeah. Put a case in, bring it up into the flare, okay? Now, this is a little awkward. And then, since I don't have this cleared, it's not really at top dead center, but I wanted to just show you, then you just dump it in, it goes into the case. You bring her down. Now that case is charged, and you put it in here. So you actually would be doing the flaring and the powder through in one step. Okay. There again, if you've got like the Lee Auto Drum, you can use a dispenser to drop it through and achieve the same results. Okay, that brings us up to another way. Okay, another method of distributing powder is the powder drop. Okay, and let's see. Basically, you've got a hopper here that you fill full of powder. You set the volume size inside the drum here, and then every time, boom, you can stick a case right up, drop it right into the case, and just do that over and over again. You'll notice here, this is a tip. Pack's coming off. This is a used dryer sheet. What it does is it keeps static from building up inside the tube. And if you notice here, this is electric toothbrush. That just keeps all the powder settled. This is a very large hopper, so that consistency helps on your consistency at the drops. Another important thing for consistency, what I like to do is no matter what size hopper it is, I like to keep it between 66% and 75%. So right in through here. So that's one reason that I use these old coffee creamer containers, because I'm constantly adding some more to keep that range right up there. That works really well for me and helps me drop consistent loads. One other thing I kind of wanted to say, and we'll cover more of this when we talk about the benches, but instead of mounting this permanently somewhere on my bench, I had the idea, well, why don't I mount it to this? That way I can move it around wherever I want it. keep versatility in your mind when you're setting up your bench. You don't have to have a huge workspace for your bench. We'll get into that later, but just keep your mind open for that. And you've noticed probably before on this one, I've also got it mounted to a 4x4, and I'll show you why on that as well later when we talk about the benches.
Okay, we're looking at some different brands of the electronic dispenser type powder drops. You fill the hopper with powder, and then you dial in the weight you have, and it automatically dispenses that weight. Now, these are all several different brands. I believe they run from about $150 to $300, and some people like them. I personally have never really seen a need the way I do it for those, because it's still a single shot kind of deal as far as charging. Okay, here we have the RCBS powder drop, very similar to the other ones. Here's the Hornady like that you had seen that I had mounted on the piece of wood. Here's one of the Lees, and I'm not sure the name of it. Here's another one of the Lees powder drops. Here is a Redding. Now the Reddings have different sizes. One's dedicated to pistol and a totally different one for rifle. Here is the powder drop on top of my lock and load press. Now this is my favorite. This is the Lyman number 55. They've been making it for, God, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 years, and it works extremely well, and I'll talk more about it at the bench. Now here's a couple of other ways to do it. Now you've got the tray full of brass here, and you can individually charge them with the funnel that way, or put the tray up underneath the powder drop and do the whole tray at one time, and that's the kind that I like.
Okay, we're over here at the bench, and I'm going to show you what I do. Here you can see the Lyman number 55. This was given to me along with the Lyman press here and some other things. I know they stopped making this particular press in like 1969, so I'm assuming that's the same age range as the powder drop here. Now, you can buy this exact powder drop today, and in fact, it's the one I do recommend. You know, they've been making it 60 years, and why? Because it ain't broke, you don't fix it. But this will do rifle and pistol. It's got massive adjustments to change the volume in here for the powder drops. It's a small hopper, so it stays very consistent. There's a couple of ways to do it. You know, I've got 50 cases that are ready for powder here. Typically what you'll do is you'll test your charge with the balance beam scale. And I've got this set on 4.3 grains. And what I've decided to do is we're going to work up a new load together. I've never loaded 4.3. That's a little bit more than I've ever done with Red Dot for a 38. So we'll do this, and then I'll take them and chronograph them, and we'll make our own load data, and I'll show you how I do that as well. So the rounds that I'm going to chronograph, what I will do is I will set this to throw less than 4.3, okay? I'll make it like 4.1 or something like that consistently. I'll fill it up, and then what you do is you use this. And what this is, let's see if I can get a light on it here. This is the Redding powder trickler. Best one I've ever seen. This thing is heavy, so it's very stable. And you can see in here, and I don't know if you can or not, I'll move it around. It's threaded, so as you roll it, it advances powder out one flake at a time, and you can literally drop one flake. So what you do is you have it just under where you want it, and then you spin it and get it exactly what you want. So you've got the consistency every time. So anytime that I'm doing for accuracy, whether it be for chronographing or any kind of accuracy for the thing, I'll weigh each load instead of setting this, getting the thing, and then just filling up the whole 50 trays. But for this example, what we're going to do is I'm just showing you how I do it. I'll load these up, and then I put them up under the powder drop here. Let's make sure you can see it. Yep. And then I just do it. So I've done the whole tray. Now this, one reason I like to do it this way, take a light and I look straight down into it. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure everyone has got powder and they're all at the same level. So you can't really see this, but I think you get the idea. So it's easy to scan all of them and make sure there's no issues. Boom. Quality control. But that's how I do that. Like I said before, there's so many different ways to do the same thing. You just kind of figure out what makes sense, what makes you comfortable. You know, some people, another advantage of using the trays like I do here is you can keep count of them. You know, there's 50. When I'm done with that, I'll put a tally mark, 50. Then I'll do another tray, then another tally mark, and then I've got 200, 300, 400. I kind of like to keep track. Some people just fill the box up, I don't care, and that's fine too. It's all of what you want to do. I like to kind of keep track so I know how much ammunition I do have. I typically like to put them in bags. But that's going to wrap it up for the powder charge. Several different ways to do it. I do prefer the magnetic balance scale. And what the magnets do is the magnet just keeps it from oscillating. So it doesn't just go back and forth. It slows it down so you get a quicker reading. You know, you do like this and see it'll stop. Otherwise, it would just kind of keep going and it, you know, comes back to zero. So that's my preference, but whatever works for you works for you. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching.